Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we had some very interesting news, very exciting news for a lot of people and everything like that. This has come out, just a little bit ago, so make sure you guys subscribe. We share the news with you guys as soon as it's coming out, so that way you're up to date with everything that's going on with Magic the Gathering, Commander, all that kind of stuff. So there was a huge announcement today around this new Universes Beyond and stuff. We know that Universes Beyond is kind of coming in a lot into Magic the Gathering. We've got 3 Universes Beyond sets this year. We don't know how many are going to happen in the future, but one of the big parts about Universes Beyond has been the fact that when we want to go into something like Magic the Gathering Arena and stuff, they may not be available there. Stuff like, the Fallout stuff, for example, and some of the stuff on Magic the Gathering Online. Certain sets haven't made their way there, or have made their way there late and stuff. So they end up being this kind of, disparity between what is available in paper and what people are playing with paper, as opposed to what's available digitally. So they've announced this new thing that is essentially, when Universes Beyond sets come out, they're going to do one of two things. Either they will fully release it in online, which is obviously probably the ideal solution, right? Like for most people, they would like it to be available online. But then there's the other option, which is, say, for example, they aren't able to get the digital license for the characters or something, or they want to kind of avoid having them online, whatever, partner they're working with doesn't want them to be available online for digital platforms in whatever reason. They are releasing this new kind of style of things they're going to do, where there's going to be new digital only universes within versions. So going through what this actually says is that up here they said basically when a Universes Beyond set comes out, it's either going to be, previously the answer has been, is it going to be online on Magic the Gathering Arena and online? It's either yes, it's going to be there, or no, it's not going to be there. There's no kind of in between. It's either it is on it or it's not on it, which is not as bad at the moment, because those sets are only within Modern Plus, Modern, Commander, etc., Legacy. They're not affecting Standard at all. But with this new change where Universes Beyond is now Standard, that is going to be a big thing. So they basically announced this new thing called Through the Omenpaths. These are going to be digital only sets that are universes within versions of the Universes Beyond products. So, they're going to take, say, whatever, new Universes Beyond set is releasing. They aren't able to release it digitally for whatever reason. They will take all of that. They will make mechanically identical versions of it with new art, new names, new treatments as a digital only release. They said, they're not going to be creating Through the Omenpaths sets mirroring every single Universes Beyond one, just the ones that aren't going to be coming to digital platforms. And we also only planning to create Through the Omenpaths releases for full sets that are legal in all formats. So therefore, if they create, a series of new Commander decks like the Fallout ones, for example, they aren't going to do it with that. So down below here, they said, 2 examples. They've got currently what will release on Magic Arena and online will be the full Final Fantasy and Last Airbender sets. Those are full Universes Beyond sets that will show up on Arena and online. However, the Spider-Man set, as they also said, as well as any future Marvel sets, will not be. So you will not see Spider-Man on Magic Arena. Instead, it will be the Through the Omenpaths set. Now, that's very interesting, especially because they specifically call out Marvel here. And it also seems rather late for them to do this, right? This set's releasing later this year. I'm actually surprised that this wasn't an announcement when it was first announced. But, okay, let's go through a couple different things here. Let's first of all go through Spider-Man, because I want to say that I really hope that this brings us back to New Capenna. I think that New Capenna is perfect for a Spider-Man based set. You can keep, some of that flavor from Spider-Man and stuff, and kind of adapt it across pretty well into New Capenna. New Capenna is a plane that isn't likely to get like a full set for a bit because people weren't a huge fan of it. But if they take it and kind of, release Spider-Man stuff on New Capenna, it would be amazing. I am personally a huge fan of New Capenna, so I'm okay with it. And I think it would be just a very, very interesting kind of way to go about it. We also know that, like they've announced that, I think it was Miles, they said, was Naya. They said that Spider-Man would be banned when fully released and stuff. So I think that New Capenna, honestly, and Jund makes sense for like a lot of the symbiotes and stuff as well. I honestly think that New Capenna could be coming back here. Like, I think that would be perfect for this set. So obviously, they're going to likely kind of tie them all together. They said, well, I mean, they could potentially do it as just like a splattering across all different multiverses or something like that. Maybe like all different universes or something, potentially. But I think I'd like them to kind of actually have it set on a plane. Even if we don't get a story alongside it, it still would be worth a while, I think. The other thing is that why Spider-Man? They specifically said that Final Fantasy and Airbender will get there, but Spider-Man's not. There's probably like one huge like reason as to why the specifically Marvel stuff is not going to get released on digital. There's potential that Marvel Snap has like the full rights for release for digital cards for Marvel or something. Who knows? There's obviously, there's reasoning behind this as to why it's happening. I assume that there's going to be some people who are a huge fan of this, some people who aren't a huge fan of it. Keep in mind that this does mean that we will get essentially proxies for every single one of these Spider-Man cards that's coming out. There's going to be potentially, you're going to get, an actual universes within version of this, which is this kind of next bit I want to bring up here is that universes within, everyone kind of loves them, right? Like, there is, whether you enjoy the property or not, whether you enjoy, say, Spider-Man or not, having the universes within versions of them, there's just like, there's a huge amount of people who just kind of would love to kind of have a universes within version of certain properties rather than needing to kind of, rely on Spider-Man, etc. So, I don't know what this kind of leaves open for the future in regards to them printing paper-wise. Like, these through the Omenpaths sets, will this mean that we will get, the potential of a Spider-Man card from it getting printed again in the future? I assume that's the case. And that way, they don't need to reprint Spider-Man. They can reprint, whatever, Spider Jerk or whatever into a universes within version of it. And you can pick them up, anywhere. I think a heroes and villains set on New Capenna would be interesting as well. I don't know, maybe it's a very New York-esque kind of place, so it'd be cool. Anyway, so not for every set, but it looks like at least some sets will have full universes within versions of them, at least digitally. We'll see how that affects paper in the future. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.